Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my new video where we are going to be playing a bit of Malzahar support. Now, a big disclaimer at the start of this video. Malzahar is extremely weak in the early game. He really starts picking up once he hits level 6. His damage is pretty bad. His defensives are pretty bad early because everyone can just take out your Void Shift because you're going against 2 players. It's very easy for any kind of ranged champions to get away with just proccing your passive shield. So you have to keep this in mind when you're watching the video and when you're playing it yourself, that Malzahar is a pretty poor champion in the early game. Now, the E dot damage is decent. You can take quick trades against them and out trade them because you're doing damage over time and they just get a very small window to kill you. So we'll see, or to hit back and get the return. This is part of my Forbidden Supports series. I have a whole series here on YouTube. You can check out the playlists that are all Forbidden Supports that are really off meta but can still be fun and still have some merit in playing those champions in particular. So Q is really useful, E is really useful, W in general isn't really too useful unless you're playing against a melee champ in the bot lane. You start doing a lot of damage in the late game. It just starts becoming very you start snowballing pretty hard once you start getting a couple of picks with your ultimate. So how you want to play out this build. Aerie is really important because you can consistently proc it with autos. Obviously I'm playing this in a kind of a tough lane where it's a double ranged. You're able to harass so insanely consistently on enemy melee champions. So if you want to play this, I would recommend holding out for playing against a enemy melee champion support. You can refresh the tick of your E by hitting your Q on a E target. And let's go. Off to the races. Oh, cool. We hit him with the E and the Q. See how the E is going to stay on a little bit longer than it usually does. So we're able to harass to a decent level. But again, Sona is really weak early. That's another reason as well why I did the why I played this champion, because at least I'm not going to get absolutely dunked on by like a Morgana support that can take my passive off really easily and also can do decent amount of damage and also has really good pick in the early game. Right, so we need to be pressing the advantage here because Sona has no mana. So we want to start kind of focusing them. So the silence is really important, and obviously the ultimate is really important. So hitting as many people with the silence is going to be rather important. And alright, cool. We are just getting a decent amount of harass. Sona is out of potions, so I can look to start getting her into lethal range. Now I go Presence of Mind because your mana costs are so insanely high. An 80 Q, I don't know what she's doing, man. I mean, that's like the most obvious play in the world. So just throwing this world seed and thinking that he will not just the Samira won't win wallet for it is kind of a little bit ridiculous. Right, we're just dodging out on Qs, making the Samira just wiggling at the max range of the Q. Okay, cool. Alright, and what's also nice about the E on the on Malzahar is that it's consistently reapplying your Presence of Mind, so you're able to get a lot of mana. I wish we could contest that, but I think it's because Lily is just so low HP right now. We kind of lost our health. So you have to go Mana Flow Band and the Presence of Mind if you want to consistently harass enemies, particularly ones with a little bit of sustain. It's just going to be the way to go. Alright, cool. Got a plate there. I gotta see if this, okay, this ward has not died yet. I'm guessing Wukong is probably gonna look for a gank here. They don't really have too much follow-up. Samira can dive in, but they don't really have any CC. Another really strong thing about Malzahar is just his overall wave clear is really nice, so you can push out waves quite easily. When you need it. Okay, looks like he wants, does he want to plate or does he want it back? Okay, That's fine. He just wasted a little bit of time. It's all right. So we are harassing them so heavily that we have a lead. Now, sadly, this lane is boring until you get level 6, and that's when you can start really forcing certain situations to go on and grab a couple of kills. And as far as the build goes, you are most likely going to want to get Liandry's. Liandry's is so extremely strong, and it just synergizes so well with the kit. After that, it really is dependent on the enemy champions. Rylai's works really well if there's a lot of champions that need to get in range of you and that can be kited out with a slow. Demonic Embrace is great because it gives you another burn on top of your E, and it gives you a little bit more tankiness. And then also things like Zonia's can be really effective. You can go a couple different kinds of boots. If you're playing support Malzahar, probably recommend going boots with Lucidity because you can get more flash plays, and that's where a lot of really your strength comes from, is just flash ulting the strongest champion. Now, another thing with Malzahar's ultimate, it is it's channel, so you don't have to worry about things like a Samira wind wall. It will go through that. Cool. So the reason why we're trading on to this to the Sona is because she has really low base HP, and she is Samira can just heal quite heavily. Alright, cool. Get a decent amount of damage. Ooh. Okay, wow. We got a lot of cooldowns out. Alright, once we get level 6, I'm going to start looking to force a little bit. The Wukong is paying a lot of attention to our side, which sadly, it sucks. we're being a little bit, we have to play a little bit more passive. We can't really harass them under tower, and that's usually where you can get a lot of kills. When, if you ever play Caitlyn, you really want to set up the traps that are kind of hidden by the overall tower, and you'll land a lot of traps, maybe once or twice on a unsuspecting victim. All right. Grab the Dark Seal here. So just going over the other runes real quick. Monofoil Band, you definitely need that because you are going to be pretty mana hungry on this champion. Transcendence is really nice just because you're very ult reliant, and Gathering Storm just to really help you just scale into an absolute monster. You can go a couple different ones. Usually I go the Tenacity rune, but they just didn't really have enough CC for me to do that. And then Presence of Mind is, again, it's already given me 135 mana just from ticks, and that is pretty helpful. And then obviously it gives more when you can grab takedowns on that champion. I think both these laners are just waiting for level 6, because except Caitlyn, we're all pretty 6 reliant, because Samira gets a huge power boost, Sona gets her CC. Okay, it's warded again. I should have grabbed a sweeper so I could just sweep out that. And what your W does, I know that's not really going to do too much damage, it's going to feed a little bit of gold. It's going to force cool. And the minions are really going to heavily punish him, and that's really the essence of this champion. I'm starting to think maybe I should have just started this video. I might even edit this video right now to just have it start when I hit level 6, because that's really when you are able to start punishing people with Malzahar. It's a bit of a snooze fest until you get level 6, then you can start making the kind of super outplay the enemy champions with your flash ultimate, and they cannot do anything unless they're a very, very particular champion, like a Olaf or like a Gangplank, or they have some sort of spell shield or spell immunity. That's the only time you have to kind of worry about those things. So really good. We are going to grab, we're gonna actually, this is gonna feel kind of bad, because we want the early healing reduction, because she already has that, and then obviously Sona heals are huge, and the running heal as well. There's a lot of healing coming out of the Wukong passive, as well as his Conqueror. Just all around the board, the enemy team is going to have a decent amount of healing. Another Conqueror, probably a Revitalize as well. So being able to apply the Oblivion Orbs debuff to a lot of different targets with your Q can be quite effective. So we're going to go into Liandry's and then into our Lucidity boost just to get more flashes out. And going things like Cosmic Insight can be pretty helpful, just getting you a little bit more cool. Oh, I think one of my minions got the kill. That's not cool. I was hoping that someone else would get it, because it's kind of a mixed bag. Usually when you're playing Malzahar, you're just there for utility and you're just there for your ult, so you want your other team around you to be as strong, really. Okay, bye-bye. Pow. Pow. Let's see how long that E. Oh, that E's doing some good damage. Holy crap. Wow. Okay, so we just completely pushed him out of lane. I don't know why he didn't wind wall that. He must have used his wind wall earlier. It is a rather long. Ooh. You have to be really careful with your E because sometimes it can steal CS. I'm gonna say my bad because that's probably one of the most annoying things. Tried to bring him around to the trap. I don't know why the Caitlyn didn't try and fight there. We could have absolutely destroyed him. All we needed to do was trap on top of my ultimate, but when you're playing in solo queue, you can't be too reliant on teammates, and that's really the biggest argument for the biggest sacrifice, or the biggest argument for, God, why am I having such a brain fart? It's the biggest argument for getting more of the gold and being more greedy with the kills and trying to get that. But Caitlyn had a shutdown, so I don't really mind too much that he just kind of is like, okay, let's just save the shutdown. We don't want to give Wukong too much just free gold. Looks like the rest of the map is doing pretty well. Our Lilia is 5-1, so she's just kind of skipping along in a pretty good spot. So CDR is absolutely massive on Malzahar. Just being able to consistently apply your silence over and over again. Any kind of debuffs you have, like Leandri's or like healing reduction, can just be just a godsend. Man, they always have these bushes warded. Okay. Wait, how did the minions see me? She must have just placed a ward to cancel it out. Yep, so as we see, the CS lead continues to go, even though Wukong has come down like 3 or 4 times to this lane. And the Q hitbox is a little bit hard for the enemies to judge. They've made it a little bit easier to kind of visualize. It used to be like really random where it was going to hit, but they made it a little bit easier, but it's still kind of a difficult ability to read if it's going to hit or not. So again, we're just waiting for our ultimate, and we are just going to punish the crap out of this Sona again. And again, I put the W's down just because I was thinking maybe the Sona was going to turn out the Q and look for an auto, and that is when the will happen. Oop. Okay. So they know my ultimate is up. They know the timing behind it, and look at the power of it. It's literally just zoning them because they know that my ultimate can just be coming down at any second, and the enemy team is going to be in a lot of trouble. Okay, cool. The healing reduction did what it was supposed to do. The Sona got the kill, so that's nice. He's probably going to get a kill. Oh, okay, the Sona gets a double kill. That's actually not good because Sona is a pretty disgusting champion that can do well. I just think that, yeah, the Caitlyn just needed to E that Sona. Maybe I should have been a little bit more aggressive with my ultimate. I didn't have my flash up for like 2 or 3 seconds until I think at the start of that, so. She W right after, so the trap didn't go off. Oh yeah, that sucks. That's fine though. We're still in a really strong lane state. However, Sona is a very strong champion once you get into team fights, and I think it's just one of the biggest elo inflating champions in the game. Just gonna kind of sit here. All right, we just put a silence on the Wukong. Okay, cool. Sona might be in the bush looking for an ultimate. We're gonna have just an insane amount of dot damage. Ooh, that was a really smart exhaust. It saved him. The Zed might just finish it off anyways, though. Okay. Yeah, he got him with the ultimate. Cool. Ooh, people are disrespecting the Sona damage. Sona damage is pretty gross. Oh, an Airy proc from a minion. Oh, cool. I forgot. Yeah, the minions can proc your grievous wounds, so that's pretty cool. Just gonna give this guy a little bit of help on these camps. Nothing else for me to really do right now. Cool, 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 cool. So positioning is really important, you need to understand, and then timing is just absolutely crucial on when you're ultimating champions. So when I see the Wukong just jump in with his ultimate, I'm going to look to ultimate him, but I need to make sure that it doesn't become so obvious that he can just clone kind of in a way that it where I end up ulting the clone. That would be an absolute just disaster in team fights. So how your E works and how you get a lot of mana back is if the E kills the target, then you get the refund. So I might have, no, I don't think I could have made it to this point where I could have changed anything there. I just have such a massive back there. This is really when you just start doing a lot of damage. When you have level 11 ultimate and when you have Leandri's, if it's not a tank that you're ultimating and you have one ally around you, they're gonna die. Like 100%, just because the ultimate just does so much damage. I guess maybe if like someone has an insane amount of magic resistance as a Galio and has AP, there's exceptions to it, but just as a general rule of thumb, level 11 with one of the dot items is just one of the strongest power points you're going to have with Malzahar. So we have to be careful with dragons. This Wukong's being pretty proactive with his dragons, so going to grab this Scuttler just because I do not want this Wukong to get it. I gave him a shot at it. Okay, just gonna look to hide in the bushes here, and then when anyone comes to screw around with my Caitlyn girl, I'm going to ultimate. I could be roaming bottom right now, but it looks like Zed has it all kind of stitched up. I think Wukong. No, that wasn't Wukong. Where's Wukong? I have to be careful. This is probably warded. Oh, Wukong's dead. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the jungler. I'm just freaking blind. He just died in the bot lane. Forgot about that. Okay, cool. So we get Dragon. You're able to do massive damage. You're a little bit like Brand. You're not as strong as Brand, but the amount of PvE damage you do is pretty disgusting. Alright, let's look for a victim for our ultimate. Okay, good. It's really good that we got that dragon. Dude, he needs to run to me. Yeah. I was just looking to ult off. Oop. Did I ult a clone? Okay, I was worried. Yeah, I ulted clone. Oh, if that Q would have hit it, she dies. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Because it would have refreshed, it would have done about 200 damage. Definitely would have been enough. That's fine, though. We're going to be going to CR boots just so we can get our flashes more common, and then we also get more ignites, because that's going to be nice. Then let's go I'm going to grab a Ruby Crystal, just be a little bit more tanky, being a little bit more forgiving, be able to get off a little bit more of my ult channel if I get focus from enemy champions. And that wasn't the worst thing to happen. The Lilia was making just insane poison. A 1v4, being able to trade is pretty insane. Look at what this did. Look at the power of Malzahar did to this Samira. It stunted her. She should be on one item now, but now she's just on Vamp Scepter 2 longswords, which is what a champion should have at like 10 minutes, and we're at 20 minutes. So she just gave up so much power. Now she is going to get a lot of utility out of it from the Lilia sleep, as well as the I guess stun coming out of the cannon, and maybe a trap. Alright, just gonna ward a little bit for this split push that Zed's looking to try out. I think he's getting collapsed on a little bit. No, okay. Oof. Uh-oh. I think Caitlin's just dead. Yeah. Caitlin is just dead. I don't know. I'll look for something here. Okay, cool. Got the flash. That's fine. That's fine. We got some really good cooldowns. Hopefully we win. Yeah, we're going to win topside because Lilia is really strong. Kennen is... Yeah, Kennen's 4-0, so this is just going as planned. Now, this might suck a little bit because I don't know how many team fights we're going to get. With Kennen and Malzahar, though, it's such a strong team fight. Won't be surprised if the enemy team doesn't give us team fights until Sona's at like 3 or 4 items where she just really can carry team fights with her shields. Yeah, okay. We're going to be grabbing... what would be better here? Since there's... Like, their whole team is basically divers, and we don't have to really worry too much about... what do you call it? We don't have to worry too much about slowing people down to catch them. I think Demonic Embrace is the best way to go. Okay. Someone's got to come ward this, right? Dude, seriously? Come on. Come on, guys. Are they not even protecting the raptors? This is a really high value camp. Okay, there's the protection on the raptors. They are playing so scared and backed up. Okay, now the fun begins. This is where we can start getting a lot of damage. Oh wow, they set up a trap for our Lilia. That was smart. So you can see here, you can proc Aerie, just an absolute metric crap ton at 45. Okay. Just being a little bit careful, just helping my Caitlyn if the Wukong tries to collapse. They're probably collapsing on Zed right now, so that's not good. Let's just ward over this. See what happens. I think Wukong's looking to clear out mid. Someone's, I think, right here. I thought for sure Sona would be back in that push. Yep, he's gonna kill her. Cool. And we can grab Dragon. Alright, cool. We are in a decent spot. Wukong's went a really squishy build, which is strange. Hopefully we can just kill this before it's before he realizes that we're probably taking it. Okay, wow. That shock blast a little bit better time really screws us over. He's a big important dragon. And a really important dragon soul. If you guys have any questions for me, if you have a special support pick that you want to tell me about, dude, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. I played that Tank Swain game recently just because I had a subscriber that recommended it to me. So I always take your guys' recommendations into mine, and if I try it out and I like it and I think it's worth sharing, I will definitely make a video about it. This is probably my favorite series right now on my channel is the Forbidden Supports, because I think there's just a lot of fun picks that can just liven up kind of how boring and monotonous support can be, particularly if you are a one-trick player of a low skill cap champion. Oop. There's the Wukong. Alright, so just gonna look to protect my Caitlyn while she's farming. Have to be a little bit careful here because they could possibly be doing Baron. Right, I can get no. Okay, nice. Not gonna be able to get that. It's kind of sucked to have this early Morellos and then obviously your support item. It just makes it so your inventory is just so bogged down. It's hard to get pink wards, which really sucks. I should be sacrificing something probably to just be able to have pink wards. I don't know what this Caitlyn is looking for. I don't want to go into the Fog of War with a Sona and a Kakali that can just really devastate my Caitlyn. Because in support terms, you're all preventative. You have to prevent damage from happening. You're not like a Soraka, where you can just kind of react to certain things happening. Cool. We just shut down the Sona, stop her from running or maybe even flashing away. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Got 3 dead. We could probably look for Baron. I don't know what's going on, though, with my team. They're probably not the best, what do you call it? Chocolate horse. There we go. Cool. I think it's, what, 1200? 1250? Yeah, 1250 when you have these components. These are usually the 2 components I go, just because it's a little bit more inventory appropriate, because you don't want to be sitting on a amp tome and then wait for the 1250 combination if you don't have the slots for it. So, Malzahar obviously isn't the flashiest and most exciting support, but the reason why I'm covering him is because, first of all, whenever I do a Malzahar video, there's a lot of interest in it. So I think that's cool. So I think there's definitely a player base in my subscriber base that likes playing Malzahar. So yeah, and I also think it's viable in particular situations, like something like one of those Kog'Maw team comps, where they just like everything's built around like a Juggernaut type of setup. It can force a key member of the enemy team to waste a lot of gold. And even if your ultimate gets QSS, you still can do a lot of damage. Thought you would dash in. Might get caught here. Too much wiggling. Alright, cool. And then we get our next item, and we're able to get even more of the Mythic passive. That's why I like Leandri so much. Luden's is viable if you snowball, and you can just rely on Spell Pen of doing a massive amount of damage, but I just think Leandri's is obviously just number 1, like tier 1 choice for Malzahar support. Looks like they're really trying to FF a lot on their team, but it is pretty doomed for them, but I can understand why a Sona and a Akali wouldn't want to surrender when an Akali's ahead, and then Sona always has a chance in the late game to be able to carry people through like really rough situations. That Spell Shield was a nice add, because what it does is it stops me from just flash ulting the Akali. So essentially when you're playing this champion, it is screw that guy in particular. That's pretty much your play style. If you hate people, if you build grudges from playing games against people, cool. Alright, nice. For some reason, okay, game's FF'd. I feel like I showcased Malzahar to a decent level. If you guys have any questions for me about builds, or if you want to suggest a particular champion, please make sure to hit up the comments. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. And as always, take it easy.